James Lynch here for MMA News. Really excited to be chatting with my next guest, George St-Pierre. George, how are you, sir?
Doing fantastic. Yourself?
Doing very well. Really excited to talk about this new supplement you have on the market now, Warrior, which is linked up with Heart and Soil Supplements. Let me get this straight here. The most nutrient-rich supplement on the market right now from animal organs. If I got that correct here, what can people expect of this supplement?
Yeah, it's actually liver and heart. So it's we call it supplement, but it's actually food. You know, it's a heart and liver that has been desiccated in a process called dry freeze to in a way to maximize the preservation of all the nutrient. And yeah, it's a line called Warrior.
And how did you initially get linked up with Heart and Soil Supplements, with Carnivore MD, aka Paul Saldino, who's very charismatic on Instagram? I do follow him on there.
Yeah, I actually what I did is I tried the diet, the animal-based diet, and I've tried it for a month, and I really liked the transformation that it gives me. It reduced my inflammation. I felt like I slept better, and I gotta say that if I would have known this before, like when I was to come, when I was in the time that I was competing, I would have done my training camp on it. You know what I mean? It demands a lot of disciplines for me because I like to eat pasta, drink coffee, eat chocolate. But to do it for a month, it was a great experience, and I really enjoyed the benefit that it gives me.
And I guess this supplement is a way to get all those nutrients without having to go get, bone marrow or heart or any of these things from the grocery store, because you get it in the supplement, correct?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you got everything. Heart and soil has different kind of supplement, different part of the animal organs. But I do have heart and liver because I believe they're the most important one. You know, if you look at any predatory animal, when they kill their prey, they go for the organ first. Also, hunter-gatherer. I myself had a chance to go visit the hunter-gatherer tribe, the Maasai in Africa, in Kenya, and I remember when they kill an animal, they go for the organs. You know what I mean? That's because it's the part that has the most nutrient. We're not used to this in the western part of the globe because we don't really. It's not really part of our culture anymore. But our ancestor knew this, and at the time they didn't have a chance to eat 3 meals a day. You know, so they ate as much as they could and they didn't know when it was the next time they were going to eat, so they had to optimize their intake in nutrient.
And I guess the idea here as well is that you get the nutrients from animals as opposed to plants. And, again, if you follow along here, there's a lot of bad things with plants as well. So this kind of, substitutes that. You're still getting your nutrients, but you're getting it from a different source, correct?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you got you got this mostly from animal based diet. You know, I myself I'm not a soldier. You know, I live my life. I eat everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
Paul is very disciplined. You know, I really admire his discipline. I eat pretty much everything. That's
Yeah.
why I have this chain of supplement Warrior. Because sometimes I travel, sometimes I don't have time to eat, or I just simply don't have the discipline. You know, but
Yeah.
I am sure that with that, I got all the nutrient necessary that I need to perform at my best.
Absolutely. And we can find this on heartandsoil.com, correct? If we want to order this. And I know they ship to Canada as well, which is great because obviously we're both Canadian.
Oh yeah, everywhere. The line is called it's Heart and Soil, and the line is called Warrior.
Yes, that's awesome. Okay, we got to talk a little bit of MMA as well. Obviously, I mentioned it off the top there, one of the greatest of all time. Your division, welterweight, is run by Kamaru Usman right now. He has looked amazing since winning the title over Tyron Woodley. Do you think there's anyone in the division right now that can challenge him, that can give him that push? Colby Covington's been the closest. Is there anyone right now looking at that division that you think could beat Kamaru Usman?
Nobody is invincible. Everybody can be beat. It's not the best fighter that wins the fight very often. It's a question of odds. Is the fighter that fight the best the night of the fight, and there's a lot of things that can influence the result of a fight. I believe it is a lot of guy that can beat Usman. I do believe personally Usman is the best right now in the division, but that doesn't mean that he is invincible. He needs to always stay on top of the game. It's hard to be champion, and it's even harder to stay champion. I'm sure if you ask Usman, he'll tell you the same thing. and he's on a tear right now. He looks phenomenal. But there's a lot of guys that can give him a lot of trouble. Like Khamzat Chimaev. There's a lot of guys that could give him a lot of trouble. Leon Edwards, maybe. Usman has been a puzzle that nobody was able to solve. But like I said, he's incredible. But you need to stay focused. To make sure you never underestimate nobody and to train for every fight like it's the hardest fight that he ever had.
People consider you the greatest welterweight of all time. I know Kamaru Usman certainly making his case with some of his performances. If you were to fight Usman, what would your game plan be? I was curious.
Well, I mean, the greatest of all time, it's tell you the truth, the greatest of all time is not born yet.
Mhm.
Uh, as hard as it is to admit for anybody in the sport, whether if you're a basketball player, a track and field runner, whatever it is, I'm under the impression that sport performance tend to get better with time. Not because necessarily the athlete are better, because the knowledge is better. The techniques are as involved and improve. Um, you can't see it in fighting much because we don't have any tools that indicate us that one guy is better than the other. But if you look at track and field, weightlifting, it you can see it that Usain Bolt runs faster than Ben Johnson, and Ben Johnson was faster than you know what I mean, the previous guy, and that's how it is. You know what I mean, Jesse Owen. Weightlifting is same thing. Olympic lifting, fighting. It's a very subjective sport. Who would win between Ali and Tyson and or Klitschko or Tyson Fury, or you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And me, myself, and Usman. But the truth is, I believe because we all learn from our predecessors, and we start with we always when we start our career we have already a head start. We don't have to make the same mistake that the previous generation have made. I think for that the sport tend to be better. As good as Usman is right now, I'm sure in the future there will be guys that will be better than Usman. You know what I mean? That's how it is.
Yes.
So the best of all time for me, it's Royce Gracie. Of course, if you put him in the octagon right now, he might not do so well, but for his time, stuff that he has done, it was incredible. And maybe
Okay.
if you would have put him in modern days with the same knowledge, but he would start with the head start, maybe it would be just as good. It's hard to tell, but yeah, that's how it is. You know what I mean? The sport keep evolving.
Let's say you're in your prime and Kamaru Usman is how he is right now. If you were to fight him, what would your game plan be?
Yeah, I mean, I would Usman has a style that he's very good in chain wrestling. He's very good at when he put his opponent against the fence. He can do it all. He's very well rounded, but he's very good. His main specialty in wrestling, he's very good at putting his opponent against the fence and work from there.
Mhm.
My style was very like my style. I was more a guy that moves and hit and run, so to speak. You know what I mean? That was my game. So my game would have been to put him down, but with fakes and proactive and reactive takedown. I would have like if I would have fight him, try to put him on his back because I had never seen him there. So that would have been my strategy. You know what I mean? Where someone is strong, sometimes is the place where when someone seems stronger than everybody, that's a place where you need to attack because sometimes the strength it get transformed to a weak link because you
Yeah.
never know how he fights on his back. Nobody has ever exposed him there. You know what I mean? So there's
Yeah.
guys that are very good wrestlers, but once they're on their back, they've never been there, so you don't know how they will react. You know what I mean? So because of that, that's what I would have tried to do in a fight. But would I had succeed or not? We never know. I think so. Because I'm a fighter. And I'm kind of biased about because there's nobody that I fought that I wasn't able to put down. I put everybody down. But it's a different era, different times. Guys get better, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, Usman is just fantastic. He's the best right now.
You referenced a name there who's making a lot of noise, and that is Khamzat Chimaev. What are your overall thoughts on him, and what did you think about his win over Gilbert Burns recently?
I think it was a great fight for him. He needed this because he went through everybody a little bit like butter. I think you need some adversity sometime, and in the adversity you get better, you improve. So I think it was a good fight for him. I mean, it's not good to get hit in the head, and I don't think I like to watch him fight, but I don't think he fought the smartest fight. I think he could have made it easier for himself if he would have. I think he's just used to go through everybody like this, but you can't fight like this at the elite level. You need to prepare, to game plan, and to become the perfect nemesis for your opponent. You can only go there and try to trade blows with someone like this.
Is Colby Covington the next fight for him, do you think? Do you think that makes sense?
I think it makes sense. Yeah. There's a few guys that are very good, and I mean, there's a lot of option right now. Cody Covington is there. Mohammed is there. There's Leon Edwards. There's Kamaru Usman. I think I heard Conor McGregor is coming back in the mix at welterweight. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. Someone who's retired recently, we had Khabib Nurmagomedov, someone I know you've been tied to a little bit. We talked earlier about, greatest of all time. I know, like you said, the greatest has not been, we haven't seen them yet, but currently today, at the time we're recording this, where would you put Khabib on the greatest of all time list in your opinion? He was undefeated.
Oh yeah, he had a perfect career. Perfect. I mean, he's on the top. You know what I mean? You the way I see it, when you say the greatest of all time, you have to wait until his career is over. It's
Mhm.
sad to say, but a lot of fighters, I feel like they tainted their legacy a little bit because they hang there too long. For me, the greatest of all time is someone who left behind a great legacy. And if you stay too long past your prime in a sport like basketball, it's not so bad because you know what I mean? But in a sport like full contact fighting, boxing, MMA, or kickboxing, you get punched in the head, and it's very dramatic. The outcome of a loss, it's much more serious than it is in another sport. We say we play basketball, we play hockey, we play football, but you don't play fighting. So therefore, that's why I'm telling the guys, the younger generation, make your money, fight when you're on the top of the food chain, when you're at your best and your prime, and then exit, man.
Yeah.
Leave it. Of course, you'll feel sometime, yeah, you leave money on the table, but the money that you might have left on the table would transform itself into different opportunity because you're like a stock on the market. You leave high, your stock has value, then you can turn around, go to any other things, fitness, acting, whatever you want. There's a lot of opportunity that will come to you. But if you leave when your stock is going down, now it's not the same thing. These door might be closed.
Would you ever be interested in grappling Khabib Nurmagomedov? I know a fight doesn't look like it'll take place, but is grappling something you'd be interested in having a grappling match with Khabib?
Ah, I don't know. I mean, listen, if it's well organized, and if there is some event that are well organized, that are that it's a novelty fight, something good, maybe why not? I'm still in the entertainment world. I'm in great shape. I train still like like a professional athlete. I still get it. You know what I mean? Even some of the guys sometimes they tell me, "Hey, are you preparing a comeback?" I'm like, "No, I'm 40 years old. I'm done. I like to stay in there and keep my head in the game."
You mentioned novelty fights. Dan Hardy, one of your former opponents, is going to be boxing Diego Sanchez. Just your thoughts on Dan returning to competition after all these years off?
It's in boxing, Diego Sanchez. I think he's gonna do very well. I think he's gonna have an edge on that. He's a great striker.
Charles Oliveira is defending his lightweight title against Justin Gaethje. I know you're a betting man because I see the commercials everywhere. For the betting company you work for. Who do you see winning that fight? Do you think Oliveira will get it done against Justin Gaethje?
It's hard to tell. I mean, it could go either way. The way I see it is Oliveira got more tools in terms of how he can win the fight, but Gaethje, you never can count him out. He's just so durable, and he hits so hard.
If I gave you $500 though, who you putting your money on, Oliveira or Gaethje? Who do you think edges it?
I wouldn't bet on that fight, man. I don't know. I need to. I don't know. I
No
really
worries. I
don't know.
like the honesty.
Yeah.
And what do you make of Jiri Prochazka? I'm sure you've paid attention to him. He really embodies, sort of the samurai spirit. Is he someone you really enjoy watching? He's going to be fighting for the title here soon.
Oh yeah, 100%. He's very dangerous, and he's a great striker. But I think you need maybe his ground game. We haven't seen him too much on the ground, so he never been really exposed that much. So that's the thing. A lot of guys, they haven't been exposed. So I'm curious to see to see him compete more. You know what I mean? But he's very impressive. I think he's going to be the future world champion.
And you've had a lot of memorable fights in your career. Is there one that stands out? Is there a favorite fight of yours looking back on your storied career?
Yeah, my fight in Montreal against Matt Serra is my favorite because it was the first time I was able to fight in front of my family and my friends.
And last question, I know you're a Montreal Canadiens fan. Are they going to be able to turn this around? They were in the Cup final last year, and this year they've been cleaning house. How optimistic are you, George?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm not really much of a fan of hockey, to tell you the truth. I used to watch the Edmonton Oilers when Wayne Gretzky used to be there. I don't know, man. Since COVID, I lost. I don't know what's going on. I've lost track of what's going on. But yeah, I hope so. I mean, the city is great when they are in the playoff. I hope so.
George, thank you so much for the time. If there's anything you want to plug before we get out of here, definitely plug the website where they can get the supplement and anything else you want to mention. The floor is yours, sir.
Yes, sir. It's Heart and Soil. The line is called Warrior. It's liver and heart that are been desiccated in the process called dry freeze. I mean, you should check it out. It's great.